So this Signalgate saga keeps getting bigger and bigger, as it is now being reported that the Pentagon issued an OPSEC special bulletin pertaining to vulnerabilities identified in the Signal Messenger app. They sent this message out to the field on March 18th. The memo specifically says, quote, Russian professional hacking groups are employing the linked devices feature to spy on encrypted conversations, end quote. The memo further notes that Google has identified Russian hacking groups as targeting Signal to spy on persons of interest. NPR goes even further, saying they discovered a memo from 2023 that back then warned against using Signal for any non-public official information, and yet these guys decided to do it anyway. The Pentagon memo specifically stated on March 18th, quote, please note, third-party messaging apps, e.g. Signal, are permitted by policy for unclassified accountability recall exercises, but are not approved to process or store non-public unclassified information, end quote. That last sentence right there, not approved for non-public unclassified information, basically covers everything these guys were speaking about. Because everything that we operate in the federal government in general is considered non-public unclassified information until it's released by some form of PAO or official on an official basis, not through some sort of leak. So this idea that it wasn't classified so it doesn't matter, that went out the window immediately. This is just an absolutely basic level of understanding of OPSEC that completely failed between every person involved in this. The minute any one of them realized this app was being used to share information not meant for public eyes, they should have shut it down. And if it continued, they should have whistleblown. Mike Waltz, for his part, took responsibility for what happened on the Signal messaging app with regard to Yemen. I mean, sort of. On Fox News, he talked about how somehow Goldberg ended up in this group and alluded to the fact that there may have been some nefarious reasons behind it, or he hacked his way in. It was complete nonsense. But then he went on to say that he will get to the bottom of the embarrassing Signal leak. What is there to get to the bottom of here? The highest levels of the intelligence community were using commercial off-the-shelf technology that already had multiple warnings about being compromised from within their own agencies. And despite this violating internal policy and several laws, y'all continue to use it anyway. And it just so happens the only reason this was brought to light is because you accidentally included a journalist. Could you imagine if this hadn't been uncovered by a journalist this early in the Trump administration, simply because he was accidentally added? These guys could have been using this app for the entire 4 years of his administration, compromising intelligence and assets for years. I stand by my statement that everyone involved in this situation needs to go stand on the carpet in front of Congress and answer questions about what the hell happened here and exactly what the decision-making process was to authorize using such an app for highly sensitive business, because no one involved in any of this is saying anything right now that passes the sniff test.